Long after the Great Flood, the earth was once again filled with people. Families grew, communities formed, and everyone spoke the same language. Because they understood one another perfectly, they worked together easily and felt strong in their unity. As the people traveled, they settled on a wide plain called Shinar. It was good land, and they decided to stay. Soon, an idea began to spread among them, an idea that sounded exciting and powerful. They said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." Using bricks instead of stone and tar for mortar, they learned new skills and built stronger structures than ever before. Their knowledge grew, and with it, their confidence. Then the people said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves so that we will not be scattered over the face of the whole earth." They wanted security. They wanted recognition. They wanted to rely on their own strength rather than on God. The tower began to rise, higher and higher, stone by stone, brick by brick. To the people, it felt like proof of their greatness. But something important was missing: humility and trust in God. The Lord saw what the people were doing. He saw their unity, but He also saw their pride. God knew that when people trust only in themselves, they can lose their way and forget their purpose. God had told humanity to spread across the earth and fill it, but instead they chose to stay in one place and build their own glory. The Lord said, "They are one people speaking one language, and this is only the beginning of what they will do. Nothing they plan will be impossible for them." So the Lord decided to lovingly step in, not to destroy them, but to guide them. He confused their language. Suddenly, people could no longer understand one another. Simple instructions became confusing. Words sounded strange. Builders argued. Workers stopped. The great project could no longer continue. The tower stood unfinished. Because they could no longer communicate, the people began to move away from one another. Families traveled in different directions, forming new nations and cultures. Languages spread across the earth, just as we know them today. The city was called Babel, which means confusion, because that is where the Lord confused the language of the whole world. The story of the Tower of Babel teaches us that unity without God can lead to pride, but unity with God leads to purpose. It reminds us that human strength has limits, but God's wisdom does not. God desires humble hearts, people who work together while honoring Him, not seeking their own glory above all else. Even when people chose their own way, God remained in control. He used confusion to bring order, scattering humanity across the earth to fulfill His greater plan. And through it all, God continued His work of guiding, loving, and restoring humanity, one step at a time.